Hello everyone, it's Dr. Steve Johnson here again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm here with Dr. Brignone, and thank you for being here, Dr. Brignone. We love having you here. Yeah. And so as you know, our goal is to come to you as often as we can, a couple times a month, to teach you and to educate you about the latest tips, techniques, and trends that we are doing currently in dentistry. So we've had a lot of questions recently, and one of the questions that stood out to me is like, is fluoride good or is it not good? Should we use it or should we not use it? So, you know, as dentists, we both feel, of course, that fluoride is extremely beneficial because we have our own really scientific research as we're doing it right here in our dental office. You know, we see patients who use fluoride, we see patients who don't use fluoride, but I decided to pull up a couple things from research from the American Dental Association. They do an amazing job with research. And so there's 5 reasons they say why fluoride is great for patients, okay, great for the community, it's great for us. Number 1 is we know that fluoride, it prevents tooth decay.
Absolutely.
Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And so my experience, I've been practicing for 25 years, patients who use fluoride have less tooth decay. Those who decide to go to an all-natural thing, and I was talking to Dr. Brignone and Dr. Lavity and a few of the other doctors in the meeting that we had, it just seems like when they go to an all-natural toothpaste, because they feel like it's better for their overall health, we see a higher incidence of decay. And it's frustrating for the patients because they come in every 6 months,
right?
And they get their teeth clean and they do this and like, what am I doing wrong? And that's the first thing I ask them, if they have more than 5 or 6 cavities within a 6 months to a year time, if they've changed over, and a lot of them have. And so, you know, what I want to talk about is the benefits of fluoride and what it can do, and that it's safe and it's natural. Now, I might get a lot of, you know, I don't know, feedback from you guys that you, regardless you don't want to take it, that's fine, it's your choice. But here are 5 reasons why it's so important to have fluoride. 1, if it's approved by the American Dental Association, we know it's the right amount, okay? It's not too much, it's not too little. It is very healthy for you, or not healthy for you, but healthy, you know, as far as taking it, as far as not eating it and drinking it. But it helps protect the teeth. That's the most important thing. It helps prevent tooth decay, okay? Number 2, it protects all ages, little kids, teenagers, adults.
Yep, absolutely.
And like with adults, what I've seen is obviously my dad or as we age, they're on different medications. Mm-hmm. That breaks down, you know, can break down their create dry mouth and things of that nature. Have you seen that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get patients that come in, you're on medication. As you get older, we're on more and more, and it causes dry mouth. You know, there's a lot of reasons why it causes dry mouth. A lot of reasons we don't know why, but it happens. And just providing a patient with the fluoride, it stops that demineralization. It gives them a stronger tooth structure.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about that demineralization. To me, and what I've read with research and things that I know about fluoride is a natural mineral. And it literally comes from water. Yep. Okay, it comes from the ocean, it comes from lakes, it comes from some rivers, and it's a natural mineral. So when he says it can demineralize your teeth like acid or bacteria in your mouth, well, the fluoride helps replace some of that demineralization because it's natural mineral. It helps strengthen your enamel. So that's another key thing that research shows and has proven that fluoride will help remineralize, give your enamel, make it stronger for you. And so so I think that's a key thing. So thank you. And even like with teenagers, or I mean, we don't know what
you're
they're
drinking
doing.
Gatorade and soda, and you know that's acidic. Sugar. And the bacteria in your mouth eat the sugar, and that eats your teeth.
And do you feel like you're seeing a higher incidence, like with the patients you're seeing, because you're seeing a lot of kids as well, a little bit more decay?
I see pretty rampant decay, and in Santa Barbara we don't have fluoridated water, which is something that where I grew up in the Midwest we had, and we saw actually lower incidence of cavities in the Midwest because the water has some natural and also some fluoride that's put into it. And then going back to what you were saying, we're not making you eat all this fluoride. We're painting it on the teeth. Or you're rinsing with it and spitting it out. It's not a systemic fluoride; it's a topical fluoride for the teeth.
Yeah, so you're not ingesting and digesting of that nature. Mm-hmm. So, and the third point that the ADA, the American Dental Association, points out here is it's safe and it's effective, and they have it's been endorsed fluoride not just by the American Dental Association, but a couple of people here, like the U.S. Surgeons General. It also has been endorsed by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, by the American Medical Association, World Health Organizations, American Dental Association, as I mentioned, and of course the American Academy of Pediatrics. And because it's so important, it helps strengthen your enamel. The fourth, which maybe you guys will like, I promise you, and it says here, it'll save you money. I mean, we see this all the time. Fillings are not cheap. especially if you have an old crown in your mouth or a crown that's in there and you're not using fluoride. We see decay around the margins. People think, well, I have a crown, my tooth's protected. Bacteria still gets up underneath there. It will just go wherever it wants to go. And if you're not using fluoride, it's you're just not strengthening those teeth around, especially around those margins. So I've seen that a lot as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the other thing too, where it can get really costly, especially with adults, that as we age, we get a little bit of recession around our gum tissue, and when that root surface is exposed, it's much more susceptible to decay. Correct? Don't you think?
Yeah, you don't have that the protection from the enamel. You have a thinner layer on the root surface of the tooth.
Much softer tooth structure, so the fluoride helps really strengthen that as well. But when we see decay there, the problem is when you remove that decay, it's much closer to the nerve.
Yeah.
And so that can create hypersensitivity and in some instances lead to a root canal. So really using a little bit of fluoride in your toothpaste, a little bit of fluoride in your water and your rinses, it really will help strengthen the enamel. It's safe, it's natural. I'm a huge believer in it. I know there's some of you listening to this like thinking, oh my gosh, no, I'm not going to do it, but that's okay. I mean, it's your choice. You can brush, but the problem is once you get you can clean your teeth with a natural toothpaste, but the bacteria is still up under the gum tissue.
Right, and you're not getting that remineralization that we do see with the fluoride. So you're cleaning your teeth, yes, but the bacteria are still there.
What's another thing that I find interesting is I don't know where this came from, is who came up with the idea of only brushing your teeth twice a day? I think that's insane to me. I mean, I heard that growing up. I don't know where it came from. I mean, it made me twice as better than once, of course. But I have not had a cavity since I was a teenager. So over 40 years, I'm 52.
Same.
And so I just haven't had one. But I mean, I'm fanatic about it. I brush my teeth first time I get up in the morning. I did a video on this, by the way. I brush it first time I get up in the morning before I do anything else.
Yep.
Okay? And then I eat breakfast. And then I brush again. And then I brush after lunch. And then after I have dinner, I brush again. And then when I go to bed, I brush. Okay? And I don't brush really hard, to ruin my enamel. I just want to get the fluoride on there to help my teeth feel clean and protected.
Yep.
And then I floss my teeth, okay, when the fluoride's still in there, right before I go to bed, even before I spit out, just to get the fluoride in between my teeth. So I think that's very helpful and beneficial. Look, our goal is to help prevent you guys from getting decay. That's what we do as dentists. We want to educate you. We want to teach you. We see so much, and we just want to we're here to help you out. We're hoping that you take this seriously and that you're using a fluoride that's approved by the American Dental Association, because they have the optimum amount of fluoride in their toothpaste. And I brought Dr. Brignoni in here because he shared with me, and I have never heard. I mean, I've heard something about this material, but it's now been approved by the FDA, and it's a type of fluoride that really helps individuals, especially young kids who cannot sit and have an injection and have some dental work done, or maybe perhaps somebody who might have special needs who can't sit there and they have a lot of decay in their mouth. There's actually a material. It's called a silver diamine. Yeah, he's going to just touch briefly on that, if you would, because you're the expert on that.
So what silver diamine fluoride is, it's a liquid that we use. We paint it on the tooth. It's as simple as that. It's been being used in Japan for the past 80 years. It was just approved in the U.S. for use. We use it all over the world when we do outreaches for people that don't have dental care in their communities. And what it is, like I said, a liquid we paint on the tooth, and the silver and the fluoride penetrate into the tooth and stop cavities. So some of you may be able to relate with this. You have a young kid at home that has decay.
Decay, yep.
They don't like coming to the dentist.
Yeah.
They don't like coming to the dentist.
Shocking, huh? Right? Could be shocking.
And they're really difficult to manage. But being a dentist, I still want to take care of that child. I want to make sure that their cavities, get taken care of. So one option we have is to send them to the hospital, and they can go under general anesthesia. That is an option, but not everyone can afford that, and not everyone wants to put their child under anesthesia.
Right.
So what this is, we paint it on the tooth, and it stops the cavities. There's no shot. There's a little bit of a taste, but that goes away in just a minute after we clean it up. And it stops the cavity. If your kid's 3 years old, great. They're not crying. They get this taken care of. The one downside to it is it leaves a little bit of discoloration where the cavity was. But we can place a white cover over it. So we're not drilling into the tooth, we're stopping the cavity, and we can make it look aesthetic. Down the line, let's say the child doesn't like the aesthetics of it, then we go back in when they're more able to handle it, and we can change out with the filling. But we can stop the decay, which is our number one priority.
So that's key. I mean, because it's a very cost-effective way to go. Like you said at the very beginning, we don't have fluoride in the water, so there's a lot of families who really can't afford to go to the dentist. Their kids, they might be having quite a bit of decay. They see the blackness on their teeth. And this is an option that's very affordable to do, where we can paint this on their teeth and get the decay stopped at least. Is it the best option? Probably not. You know, if you can afford to have the decay completely removed and make your tooth white again, I mean, that would be best. That's what we would prefer.
Yeah.
But at least we have another option. And this could be with the elderly. It could be with a really
special
young kid.
needs patients. We actually had a patient that's on bisphosphonates, and they can't get an extraction of it. They have decay all over their tooth. So we paint this on there, and we can save them from having to go through some things that are associated with people that are taking bisphosphonates for osteoporosis. So there's definitely a lot of uses for it. They can really help you out.
Perfect. Well, as you can see, we are big proponents of fluoride. We think it's fantastic. We think it's going to save your teeth. We think it's going to save you money. And I'm hoping that you guys are using fluoride in your toothpaste and maybe in your rinses that you're using out there. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was beneficial. Like before, if you have any questions by any means, post them on Facebook or send us an email. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. And then one last note, if you're still listening, a calendar item is next Thursday we have our implant seminar, where we'll be doing a great 20-minute implant seminar, educational about who's a candidate for an implant, who's not a candidate for an implant, and then we'll do free exams at the very end and take X-rays and even CTs to see if you qualify for an implant. Most people do, but we just like to make sure that you understand what it's all about and educate you. So thank you again. You guys are awesome. We love serving you guys as doctors here and as friends. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Either just give us a call, go to our website, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have. Thank you so much. Have a good one. We'll see you. Bye-bye.